We are speaking to the one and only Hollywood gods and monsters. And as we say here in Montreal, bonjour, everyone. How are you?
What's going on, my brother?
Good, thank you.
Not much, not much. I'm glad to have everybody here. And I have to say, I don't know if it was you or somebody sent me the link to the promo video, which is about 20 minutes long.
Right.
It is terrific.
Oh man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mitch. Appreciate you, man.
You know, so let me talk about this because in your press release, it talks about you're making a new genre of music. You're calling it smash up music. And for those people that haven't heard it, you've got some rap, you've got some Van Halen, you've got some Def Leppard, you've got some Nirvana, all sort of smushed together, and it's great. It
Thank
really
you,
is.
man.
It's fun. I mean, you could put that on in a dance club and just leave, and for the next 3 hours, people would just dance.
That's
Here's
Yeah.
what sucks. If we leave, here's what sucks about that. If we leave, first of all, we don't get paid, and they don't get to, they don't get to see us, and probably won't be able to come back. But I hear what you're saying. Diggs did a great job, and
Yes,
so
yes.
and said so did Seven. And literally just going, here's what we're gonna do, and he set all this up, and I'm glad you got to listen to it. I don't mean to make a joke out of that, but it is exactly like you said. It's like we can't lose.
No.
He's the mix master.
Well, I mean,
so that, and I'm glad you appreciate that. But you are right.
so talk to me about this then. In terms of the style, how do you present that to an audience? I mean, is it all sort of samples stuck together and you just run a tape, or do you play it live? Like,
Wait. Did you say the style?
yeah, how do you sort of? How,
That's he's the style master, baby.
well, he is the style
Mitch, no,
master.
it's
And by the
all
way, Travis, pleasure to talk to you. Your former publicist wouldn't ever let me talk to anybody in Steel Panther, so pleasure to talk to you.
Well,
oh
good,
man.
and I'm glad I get to do that. So it's a pleasure, and thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Because it's a big deal for us, and to get anything we can get right now, it's like a new baby for us. We've all done our own things in the past, and now we get to collaborate and just do something that nobody's done yet.
Yeah.
And I'm just so stoked to be a part of it. So I'm glad you appreciate it as well.
Yeah, it really is. So, um, Diggity Dave. Can I call you Diggity Dave?
Yeah, by all means, man.
I love that
Just
name,
don't call
by
me
the way.
Susan. It's all good.
Just don't call you. Well, Susan's my
Susan.
wife's name. So that would be, she's right down the hallway.
Oh,
So talk to me about this. Is this a project that you've had sort of stewing for a while, and then Travis became available, and you said hop on in, or did you create this all together?
we created it together because it was just an idea,
Right.
Mitch. It was just something that was kind of percolating. I had put it on the back burner. I started this with a very formidable, big couple of name rock stars and a rap star that are friends of mine, and it just never came to be. And then COVID happened, and then I just kind of like put it in my back pocket. After COVID was subsiding, I started like thinking about the idea a lot more, and I wanted to get back into music because I'd been out of it for a while, and
Yeah.
I just started assembling people that I knew would be perfectly fit for this kind of style of music because it's so experimental. And to get back to your other question, it's not sampled. I mean, the whole thing's being pulled off live. I mean, we are in
Wow.
marathon rehearsal 7 days a week. We're also recording a record, and we've learned every single nuance of every one of these artists that we're smashing together, and knowing that this was going to be somewhat of a complicated kind of journey to find the right fit for the right job. And find the perspective where people could see the 30,000 foot view of what this is. It was a little tough, but knowing we had to round it out and find the last missing piece before we could ever call it a band was trying to get Travis in this. And it was just such a long shot, Mitch, because we've grown up together. Everybody in this band has grown up with him. We all know him. We all lived in LA
Yep.
as teenagers. So knowing he was in SP, there was no chance we were ever going to get him. So we were starting to look outside of the perimeter of Travis, going, who else do we know that would fit the bill, that has that kind of family vibe, that can throw down the funk, and who would see the 30,000 foot vision. And lo and behold, man, as fate has it, we're on the internet, and all of a sudden we hear the announcement that he's no longer in
A
Steel
fluke,
Panther.
a complete fluke.
Complete fluke, man. I mean, this is literally, Mitch, I'm talking in real time. In the span of a week, when we're finally saying we're going to form a band, this is when this happens. And so when he came aboard, it became a band. That's when it became real, and that's when it was like full steam ahead. So
Oh, that's great. Of course, Travis, you left Steel Panther, and we know why. Your publicist said you can't talk to Mitch Lafon, so you said, "Well, fuck that, I'm out of here."
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
I'm out of this fucking thing if I can't talk
I
to
love
him.
Skid Row. I love Skid Row.
But then talk to me about wanting to join this, because you were in a high profile band. You were doing, you opened up for Judas Priest. You do all this stuff. Talk to me about the sort of the challenge or the excitement of sort of building something fresh again.
And you know what? It's like talking to my wife about this. It's like every day I wake up and I can't wait. Like the past 3 days, I've been in the room going, all right, what key is this again? And I have to sort everything, write it down, and then I hear something different. These are all the bands, and trust me, and I appreciate that, because yesterday I have a past interview. It's like they're saying I haven't talked to my bandmates, and I'm not supposed to talk about that, but at the same time, it was like I got it. So I appreciate you letting that rest, but I will answer that question. I left because I thought that I was just done.
Yeah.
With that, with everything, I knew that after COVID, literally, we were going to be gone on the road, and being an old man, I mean, this makeup is way tough to put on. You got to stretch skin, and there's all kinds of things. All these sprays you got to put in your biscuit. So, but here's the thing. It's like literally, it's like I go, wait a second, Diggs and Chris. Well, I like to call her Seven. But at the same time, it's like so I saw this on Facebook, because I don't do much social media, especially after that. I didn't want to have my heart broken by disappointed fans and me choosing to just diss one band and join another. Like, it wasn't like that at all. I planned on retiring. And a couple months later, I didn't know their pattern or what they were going through, what they were doing. But they found out, and I've known these two creatures for such a long time, and I've adored both of them. And I did see that they were doing something, but I didn't think about that seriously at all until I got a phone call. And between the two of them, it was a message and things like that. I'm going, during this time, I have to say that after I just go, here's what I can't, I just can't, for my health and my mental, I can't just be gone this much, because I've just started something with my wife, during COVID. So, but this isn't going to be a long tour or anything like that. I was just, I felt like I needed to just stop and take care of myself, and also be there for my wife. I know that sounds all cheese nutty, because I like to fuck. But
well,
now just my wife.
He said that.
Can you say fuck on here?
You can, and the irony is that once you get married, that doesn't happen anymore. Trust me.
Right.
It's been 20 years.
But you know what? I didn't plan this at all. And I've known these two for a long time, and the guitar player for a long time, Brian. And they're just, this is like a family that I've had for such a long time. Even though, with my last band, it was like we became that for sure. But I, just for whatever reasons, and again, I appreciate the privacy, because again, I want to talk about this project, and not even a project,
about this project
our
too.
band, our family. And when I started getting tunes, I'm going, nobody does this, and I've always wanted to work with Diggs. And it's like, and I know his TV career and everything like that, and we both share the same friends in LA and things like that. And I was always too busy to do something, but I'm like, wait a second, when I go past my mansion to these two rooms, all the hundreds of guitars are there. I'm just kidding. I don't live in one mansion. I still live with mom. She's in the background. She's cooking dinner.
We just let him roll.
But you know what? I go, what do I do with all this stuff? And after I just go, I'm done. And I would wake up early in the morning and not sleep at all at night. And it doesn't have to be. I don't have to be done. And once I got all this stuff as one, it's like I just feel like a kid again. And it's amazing what Diggs has done and who he's put around this. And to be a part of it, I'm honored. And again, I just feel like, whoa, wait a second, this is amazing. So I'm not taking anything away from everything that I've had. And I'm so thankful and grateful in the past, but it was just time for me in my life to just do something different. And I appreciate you just taking that answer and talking about this these two amazing creatures.
Yeah, absolutely. And
It's-
quite
the
frankly,
other
what
thing-
we need to ask about Diggity is the fact that he was in Shake the Faith. America, the Violent came out in Japan in '94, but Tommy Thayer of Kiss was in there. So we have to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, Tommy Thayer and Kenny Queens, who went on to
Beautiful
form
Creatures?
Creatures, and LA Guns. Xavier, who went on to be the drummer for Buck Cherry. We had a lot of
Really?
guys.
That was
Yeah,
Xavier Muriel who went on to play on
he didn't
15?
play on our record. He came in right after Danny Parker.
Parker,
who's in
okay.
the band. Yeah, Xavier took Danny's place.
Because I'm
Danny
literally
left.
staring at your demo tape here, the Shake the Faith demo tape, P.O. Box 46125, Hollywood, California. Look
North
at that.
Hollywood, right?
look at
Does it say North Hollywood? Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I got to cut you off, Diggs, for 1 second.
Go ahead, baby.
The moment I went to LA, the time that I did, 94-ish, I went to FM station because that was the cool thing to do, at that time. And I heard this band, and I could not believe at that time, Diggs, it was number 9,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't believe how fucking great they were. And I was thinking, going, I'm gonna record this, go back to Cleveland, and I'll be such a big deal. It'll be great, because I thought they were that amazing. And now it turns out that through all these years I've been friends with them, and now get to work with half the band plus the beautiful creature over here.
Yeah, which is great.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you, Diggs. I'm sorry about
cool,
that.
Mitch.
No,
there's
but
a-
I'm glad to hear about Xavier Muriel, because when he joined with Stevie D, Buck Cherry, and they made that 15 record, saved a career.
It really did, man. I mean, he's such a monster player, and he's such a monster human being.
Great guy.
I've had the pleasure in my musical journey to play with some just amazing guys who weren't just amazing guys on stage, but off stage too. Their moral compass was so strong, and they've led very moral lives. And I throw Xavier in there with some of the best guys I've met. And there's another little twerk to this story that we haven't said in any interview is we actually started a band, me and Travis, with Vic Fox playing drums and Brent Woods playing guitar.
Brent
and it
is
lasted
awesome.
all about 2 weeks. And then we all got pulled away to do other big projects. I got a thing on MTV, another thing on before I started Pimp My Ride, and all this stuff happened, and it just was never meant to be. But me and Travis would run into each other at airports across the United States randomly. We would just see each other at the bar every time we were flying somewhere, and we'd hug it out. And he'd be with Ralph and Russ or something. And by the way, I love those guys, Mitch. I grew up with those guys from Steel Panther.
Yeah.
I love those guys with all my heart. Like this isn't anything for me to take for granted. I appreciate the fact that Travis has had this lustrous career with these amazing guys, because they are great people. But like Travis said, it was just time to bounce.
Russ Parrish is fantastic, and what he did with Rob Halford was terrific. And Ralph, he did that LA Guns album, Wasted. Great people.
Yeah,
I honestly don't like their publicist. I think he's a real dick. But
aren't they all though? Aren't they all? Yes. There's no animosity, but love here.
Yes, agreed.
We wish them the best, and I've cheered for those guys from the nosebleed seats my entire life since we were teenagers, and I'll continue to do so.
Agreed.
And fly the Steel Panther flag like I always have. And I'm hoping that they do the same for us, because I know that Travis still loves those guys, and I'm sure that the feelings are mutual. But to get back to your original question, playing with Tommy Thayer was for me as a musician was an eye-opening experience, because the guy is who he is now, who he was then. He was just a formidable force of just musical prowess and knowledge, and the ability to teach young guys like how the game works. He taught me the industry, and he just I owe a lot of credit to Tommy, and I'm good friends with him. And he's blessed to be doing what he's doing, but they're blessed even more so to have him in that band.
I don't disagree. I think he helped save that band, in the sense that if they had not had him and just gotten some other random guy, it might not have gelled the way it did. And Travis, I apologize to you. I shouldn't be taking shots at your publicist, who's probably your friend. I do.
You know what? I appreciate that, but at the same time, you have your opinion, and I have mine, and you just let that go. It's okay.
Yeah, I apologize. I shouldn't be doing that. It's not right.
That, but you don't have to do
right.
that.
Sorry. Yeah.
Let me go back to Tommy.
I won't do it again. Go ahead.
It's what a great head of hair.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
I
who
know.
else could do that job, Diggs? I mean, that's tough. I mean, Chris, you seen, well, Chris Seven, we go back and forth with it, but doesn't he have a beautiful head of hair?
It really does.
Oh yeah, a mane, a lion's mane, yes.
And you are the hair product of everything going on. So when I bring that up and you know, Diggs talks about that, I go, man, who else could be, I won't say anything other than who else could do that job? The beautiful biscuit playing like he does and his humbleness. I love that creature.
You'd never know he was in that band if you know when we were at NAMM one just like 3 years ago, and he was at Coffin Case booth signing autographs, and he sent somebody over. I was taking some pictures with some girls, and he sent somebody over there, and I hadn't talked to Tommy in 10 years, and they said, "Hey, Tommy's signing autographs over. He wants you to come over and say hi when you get a chance." And I go over, man, and it was just, he's just the most humble guy, man. It's like just he's just the product of good parents and a good upbringing, and he's just rich in currency about his the opportunity that was afforded to him, and that guy lives and breathes it every day, and he understands it could all be gone tomorrow, so he treats every day like it's his last. And
he's super nice.
That's what I got. That's why I wanted to continue with that.
Well, I just want to add also that he's exceptionally loyal. I mean, he started off with the Black and Blue and Gene Simmons records, and he just stuck around and stayed true, and then was given an opportunity. And he filled
well deserved.
100%. And you never hear him bitch. You never hear him complain. You never hear him say Paul this or Gene. He just shows up, does his gig, makes fans happy. That's it.
Mitch, check this out. I'll even give you a caveat that's even beyond that. So we got signed to Warner Brothers Records. And Shake the Faith evolved to number 9 because we changed our name. We were getting sued by this band from Canada that had the name before us, and so we changed it to number 9. We got a record
deal. Not our
deal.
fault.
No,
I like Canadian. I like Canadian better.
We like Canada.
I blame the guys in Triumph. I think they're the ones who tipped those guys off, man. So, you know, Rick Hammett, like, I got you. I'm coming for you, bud. So we get a record deal, man. You know, it's every kid's dream to get a record deal, especially, you know, we got signed by Seymour Steins and Sire Records, and Tommy calls an emergency band meeting, and we were notified that they wanted Tommy out of the band because they said he's way too old to be with you guys. The kind of music you're playing, it doesn't fit him because of his history of being with Black and Blue and Cold Gin and all these other things. And we were like, look, man, he's our dude. Like, you know, he's one of the founding members of this. And Tommy calls an emergency meeting to say he's going to gracefully bow out of the band because he doesn't want to hold us back because of all the work we put into getting to where we were to get that status and then get a record deal. And he bowed out. He quit the band.
Wow.
And that's the kind of guy he is.
But Mitch, look who's laughing now. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, literally, man. Really?
right? He's the young buck.
Yeah.
Oh, so all right.
Make it a bunch of bucks. That's funny because I talked about
a bunch of bucks, man.
And a winery and the whole thing. But so let me ask you about this then. In terms of this new music, when do we get a record? When do we move forward? When do fans get to see the band on the road? Sort of, what's the next step?
Okay, so I'm going to take the first question. I'll pitch the second one to Travis, and then Seven can take the third. So the record. So we are currently recording a record right now. Obviously, there's going to be some logistical, legal things because, you know, we're doing this. So mashup music consists of like 2 songs being forged together. Right. We call it SmashUp because we do 8 to 10 artists in a single song. In one song, we have like 15 artists. So we're going to have to thread a needle, but we figured the best conducive way for us to move forward as a band, because we're doing this for everything that you opened the segment with, trying to make people feel good, just to dance, this isn't music to profit by. This isn't music to, because we're having a midlife crisis. We just decided we wanted to do music, man. And we wanted to bring something to the masses, hopefully, that could just make people have some levity, like start living and appreciating life again without taking everything so serious. And all the haters out there, man, you're just fostering all this bad ill towards us.
Why are there haters? Why are people hating? There's no reason to hate you.
They hate the music. Like, not everybody, of course, but you just got these people that are they're relentless and they just won't stop with the vitriol. But it just fuels us even more. Yeah, because my target audience is that sector right there, Mitch. Like, that's who I'm targeting. I'm going after those guys because I don't want them to be angry. I don't want them to have hatred in their heart. Like, it's just music,
It's
guys.
just a good time.
Yeah, don't take it so serious. And you can come to one of our shows and let go. And there's going to be a group of beautiful women there. And there's going to be a party going on. And hopefully we can leave you with some kind of like moment of unity that you haven't felt.
But there's nothing to hate here. It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun until the Nirvana came on. But other than that, it was perfectly fun.
Nirvana.
I love it, Nirvana.
We got all the way to Nirvana, and I
guys
went,
think-
eh,
some guys-
all right. But then the Def Leppard was great.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Some
go ahead.
guys think that when we take their beloved Van Halen or their beloved AC/DC and we smash it up like we do, that we're butchering the song. But it's
Oh,
not.
grow up.
We're not out
The
to be
Mean
Van
Street
Halen
part
or
was
AC/DC.
fun.
We're just out
Yeah.
to provide some great tunes, the history of music, to celebrate it, of all the genres of music, to bring us all together and just to have a good time.
That's it.
That's all
It's
it
that
is.
simple,
You know,
guys.
27 with that, it's like coming from the Midwest. If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
Right,
Literally,
right.
you're going to find something you dig. And it might not
Exactly.
be your piece of, whatever, but we got an hour and a half set. You're going to find something you enjoy, whether it be, visually, or you just want to start dancing again and loosen up and just have a great time. Because again, it's not going to appease to everybody. So I agree with you, girl.
I thought your treatment of Mean Streets was fun.
That's all it's supposed to be. I love that your takeaway,
Yes,
without
love
us
it.
without us sending you any type of bullet points, the way you opened the segment made me so fucking happy and proud because you get it, man. Like, it's not supposed to be taken out of context or so serious, and you're not supposed to sit there and listen to it like it's a Rush record, which is so complicated musically. It's laden with all these amazing abilities. Our stuff is just supposed to lift you up, man, and just make you forget about your job for a day.
Listen,
or
I'll
forget
tell you
about
this.
the breakup, like, that's all it is.
I'm going to tell you this.
Rocket science.
We started the Zoom a few minutes late because of some technical gremlins, and I had the private promo thing playing in my ears, and I was sitting there going, let him wait another 5 minutes. I want this to finish. So it was actually beneficial that it got. So I don't understand. Listen, if you're a fan of Van Halen or I'm a fan of Def Leppard, and I heard what you were doing,
Too.
I wasn't
That's my
insulted.
favorite.
I thought it was terrific. Yes.
Okay,
Travis.
how can anybody not? Well, we don't have to get into that, but
Into what?
does this pen make you look smarter?
Yes.
Well,
Well,
they
the
should
hat
look bigger. Yeah, they had those too. But so as far as the record, Mitch, we're recording a record right now, 15 songs, and we're gonna just give it away for free. We're not gonna charge. We're gonna do a digital download, and we're gonna give it away for free because we feel we want to gift back to the communities that we're going to be performing in, something that it's an offering for us to just go, look, man, not everything costs something. Not everything has a price tag on it. Some things are affordable and some things are meant to be free. And we're willing this to you because, we just want to give you something. Like, I want to give you some kind of like some charm and put some like light back into your life. Not everybody's running around being haters and trolls and all that. But for me personally, man, like, I get that kind of message, those messages, DMs on Instagram and all this, and it just fortifies my opinion even more so that I'm on a personal core mission and a vision quest to just try to reach these people and try to shake them loose and go, bro, life's too short. If COVID didn't teach you anything, it must have taught you life's too short. Let's not be so serious about life. It's just music. We're not trying to ask you who you voted for, what your political affiliation is, what your religion is. This is just music, man. So we're doing a record. It's coming out in 2022. And then I'm going to let Travis take the next portion of the question, which is what you asked about, like what's next as far as playing and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, Diggs, I said most of it. It's one of those things where you still get to watch people have smiles on their face and enjoy just what Diggs said, just music. And there's going to be that, and we expect it just because where we came from, what we did, and what our past is. But it doesn't matter. We support each other, and we are having a freaking blast doing this. So I said fuck before. We're having a fucking blast.
Yeah, and I was having a great time listening to it.
We have with Hype, we have so many with Danny and with Brian. I mean, the whole cast that we have here, I was like, I couldn't believe how everything just kind of fit. And I was fans of these guys when I first moved to LA, like I said, in 94. And now I get to play with them. And no one's 7. Shit, what year do we meet, girl?
94, 95.
Wow.
No, 94.
We had a blast. Her and I
Yeah,
did.
we did.
Yeah.
I'm
we
just
all got our
she knows
pens
we're
now.
just goofing. But you know, so I've known these people for such a long time, and now to be able to do this, and finally, it's just one of those things where I don't know, just fucking feels bitching.
But I don't even understand the fan base if they're complaining. I mean, you've got a guy who's on Pimp My Ride, you've got a guy from Steel Panther, and they're expecting Jean-Luc Ponty. I mean, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you were great, man. Jeez.
Yes, really.
I could do this with you all day, man. You're just the way you think is wonderful, man. I love your brain. Yeah, it's just not, you know, it's not conducive for people to. One thing I will give them credit for is like we're getting a lot of people saying like I've never heard anything like this. I don't know what I'm listening to. I'm a bit confused, and that's somewhat of a tip of a hat because I remember when being a kid when hip hop first came out, I couldn't understand what that was. I remember when country went mainstream, and I was like, well, what happened to the twang and the, you know, singing about my dead dog and my, you know, long lost wife leaving with my brother. Like it became pop and all this. So the fact that I know that we're doing something that has not been introduced into the mainstream bloodstream right now tells me that we're on the right track, you know.
I will say this: if you want a comparison, go back to Run DMC and Aerosmith and Walk This Way. Yeah. And you've essentially taken Walk This Way and made it into an hour-long tape.
We just took that to the 10th power.
That's it, to the 10th power, man. And Mitch, we were in Vegas recording, all of us, and Hype, the rapper in our band, who comes from a very just a very rich history of hip hop people like Nelly and Waz Khalif and people like that. And he had some of his like hip hop guys coming in for this big convention. He's like, they want to swing by the studio and check out some of the stuff. Is that cool? And I'm like, yeah, tell them to come by. So these cats come through and they're like hardcore gangster rappers. They have the hoodies on and they're just, you know, they weren't very friendly and stuff. You know, they were just like, what's up? And I was trying to break the ice. So we sit down, we start playing some music and they're not doing anything. And I'm just going, oh, they're not digging it. All of a sudden I see their heads start bobbing and then they start doing this. They're all jumping up in the room and they're like, this stuff is fire, man. And then the senior leader of all these guys goes on to tell me a quick thing. He's like, in our hood, you know, growing up in St. Louis, he's like, there was one band that helped hip hop more than anybody. And that was a band called Aerosmith. He goes, I don't know if you remember what happened. I go, yeah, of course I know the history of that. And he goes, well, they teamed up with Run DMC. He goes, and all of a sudden every kid in our hood was rocking Aerosmith t-shirts. He goes, and then it never happened again until Linkin Park and Jay-Z teamed up to do that. And all of a sudden all of our kids were now rocking Linkin Park shirts. He goes, and now we feel in our community right here in this room that you guys are going to be the next band that does that, where everybody's going to be rocking Hollywood Gods and Monsters shirts because you're paying homage to something that we feel so passionate about and you're taking it serious. So, you know, that was a great, just a motivator for us to say, man, we're getting accepted into the right lanes and the right communities are understanding what we're trying to do, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, listen, and I'll say it again and again and again. It's just fun. And like any music, if you don't like it, change the channel. That's it. Yep. There's no need. Yeah. Listen, and I'm going to say it this way. Bjork is a fabulous artist. I don't like Bjork's music. But why would I say anything negative about her?
Exactly.
She's a terrific artist. She does what she does. Doesn't appeal to me. That's fine. I'll go listen to Poison and she'll go do... But why do you need to badmouth it? You don't.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just
the channel.
Yeah,
change the channel.
I remember being backstage at the Nickelodeon Awards, and I was seeing Miley Cyrus was coming down the hall. She had her like entourage and security guards and stuff. And she walked by us, and me and Ludacris were there, and I just heard the most horrible, deplorable things you could say about a young person when she was out of the purview of people's vision. As soon as she was no longer there, people just were ripping on her. And I was talking about this with Seven, and I'm like, no matter what you say about her music or her body of work, you cannot deny that girl is talented, man. You can't.
Miley Cyrus is an absolute masterpiece. Or I mean, it's the wrong word for a girl, but you know what I mean.
You're right.
Started off in Disney, and everybody said, "Oh, it's Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter. It's just the daddy's." She's not daddy's anything. She's Miley Cyrus. She's an artist onto herself.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, since we're not using the radio station, it says I have 9 minutes left before we have to wrap this up. But...
So I'll let Travis tell you about like what's next, and then Seven can follow up with like.
No, I'll switch that over. I want Seven to say something. You've been quiet, girl. I miss your pretty face.
I have.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, we're planning on playing out. We should be ready. We're hoping to be ready to do our first show after this month in November. And I think that once we do that first show and people get an idea of it brings home what this music's all about, seeing us all live on stage performing. You got hype, rapping and flipping all over the stage. I'm, dressed Studio 54, glam, disco ball, rock and dancing. And then you got Diggs, who's 6'5" over here, just singing AC/DC and Linkin Park just perfectly. And then you got Travis slapping on the bass, putting on his show. And believe me, he's going to be dressed to the nines. It's just going to be a circus. And I think that when people see that, it's going to bring home the confusion of the music when they see it live. So
at the merch booth, will there be Hollywood Gods pens available?
You just started that, man. Travis inadvertently.
Oh my God, I'm embarrassed right now. I'm really embarrassed. But I have to say this. I've known someone for such a long time, and it's like, and I go to Diggs. I go, who's singing the girl parts? Like a lot of these songs are my favorite. When she's singing, I go, she sounds just like everything, and I could not believe how amazing it is. It's so fun to have a girl in the band. It really is. And again, because it brings, and a rapper and a fucking true rock star, and playing Locking Back, with Danny on the drums. It just brings, everybody's going to be happy at some point. Male, female, anybody who likes to have a good time. I think that's all I got to say about that. But again, it's so great to have her in the band. And a lot of my favorite songs are the ones that she sings. Sorry, Diggs.
It's all good, baby.
Well, the whole thing's been fun. The whole thing's fun. I just lost my question. I had a question and it just ran out of my head. Well, anyway.
Okay. Well, that's all good. I'll jump in and.
It's the dementia as I get older.
So yeah, the vision that we have for this thing is we don't see this. This isn't like a band you're going to see at like some strip mall at some pub or something, playing on a 10-foot
maybe
stage.
A strip club though.
Maybe a strip club. Now that's maybe a strip club, but not a strip
good
mall.
Ones in Quebec.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you do. Yeah, we Shake the Faith recorded in Quebec, so yes. Your strip clubs are amazing, man. But yeah, we are definitely gonna, we're building this thing out to be something. This is built like Vegas. This is built for major markets like Miami and New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. But we're gonna play every place in between, that people that'll have us, that'll appreciate what we're trying to bring to them and stuff. So we are definitely coming to a hometown near you soon, and just give it a shot, man. Like, just don't come in with a heart at heart. Like, come in with open ears.
Ready to boogie.
And ready to dance and ready to have a good time, man. And just, I promise you one thing, you will not leave there weighing the same weight that you did when you walked in. You'll lose 10 pounds at this show. So,
I fully agree. Fully agree. So there you go. Hollywood Gods and Monsters.
You're fantastic, Mitch. Thank you, bud. I mean,
Mitch.
You're one of the best.
I'm so glad to finally talk to you, and I apologize about all that stuff that happened before.
Yeah, there's nothing to apologize for. I mean, just we have a publicist that we didn't get along with. That's all.
Hey, you know what? And you know what? Get us again when our record drops, or you're near us, or anything like that you want to sneak a peek in on.
Yeah, I would just love to. I'd love to promote this band. I want to talk about this band, and if you can ever set up
appreciate it very much.
Chris, I'm all for that too. By the way.
Thank you so much, brother. We really appreciate you, Mitch. Like, you're love your brain, bud. You're like you're dope as fuck, man. So
yeah, this was. I mean, the music's fresh. I mean, it's too bad that promo that I got to see, you're not sharing it to the world, because I think people would just dig the fuck out of it. So,
maybe I think we might take your advice and do that, man. I mean, every time we do something like this, take a piece of away with us that we weren't thinking about, because we're so immersed in making the pizza right now that we're stuck in the kitchen. So you saying that, and because I respect the hell out of you, man, it may be something that we actually do in the next week or so, and we will attribute it and give it credit to you, man, because
there you go.
Appreciate you dropping that in our ear, man.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
And there we go. We'll do another one when you're ready for the release.
For sure.
We'll be here.
There you go.
Be the first one.
Merci, as we say in Montreal. Merci. Cheers.
Blessings.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Bye now. All right, let me stop the recording.